Many years ago, I became tired of being kept by my mom. I was living in George Compound, right there in Lusaka. I became uncomfortable. I was like, look, I'm a grown-up man now. I need to start staying alone. That is how I went to my mom and told her, Mom, I've grown up. I'm going to look for a one-roomed house and I'll start keeping myself. She was like, hey, why do you want to leave right now? Wait until you get a good job, until you are very much established. Comfortability is the enemy of progress. You don't want to be very comfortable where you are. Sometimes for you to make progress, you need to make yourself become uncomfortable. You need to hate the place where you are so that you can go to the place where you want to be. What I did was I said, Mom, thank you so much for your advice, but let me just try to do this thing. If I fail, please accept me back with open hands. That is how I looked for a house in Matero near Shadrach area there, and I had my own room. Now I was keeping myself. By then, I was working as a cashier in a butchery, so the money I was getting was not enough. I realized that it was just enough to buy food and pay rentals. So I needed to create an extra income so that I can begin to save, so that I can begin to invest. That is how I started my piano business. My first business was teaching piano. Of course, my salary was small, so I decided to start a side hustle to supplement my income. I took a blank sheet of paper and wrote the words piano lessons available here. I stuck this paper to our gate, and to my surprise, people started to show up. People started to inquire. People started coming for the lessons. Later, I created a piano lesson pamphlet, and also I recorded some DVDs which I began to sell to my students. I went on to advertise these piano lessons in churches. Within a few weeks, 3 churches hired me to train their upcoming musicians. If you look at this business, which I started, the piano lessons business, I didn't spend a lot of money on it. It was just my skills and my creativity. At that time, I didn't have a keyboard, so I had to rely on the church's keyboard for me to be able to conduct these lessons. Some argue, they say that you cannot start a business without capital. They say that it's impossible to start a business without capital. I disagree, because from my experience, I started a business without capital. If you are ready, I'm going to walk you through these 10 businesses you can start without capital. As I give you these 10 businesses, I don't want you to do all of them at once. I would like you to get inspired and maybe pick 1 or 2 out of the 10. If you want to succeed, you want to start with one thing. For me, I just started with piano lessons only. What are you going to start with? Just pick one thing which you are going to start, which you are going to try, and let me know what you are going to pick.